Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic, back to again with a celebrity reading. And this time it's one that I'm the most excited about. So it is on Katy Perry. So basically, we're going to be looking at, there's been a viral video, I should start off saying, going around TikTok and Twitter or X about how we owe Katy Perry an apology and that Katy Perry's career was sabotaged. In the past during the witness era. So I have touched on this before. I'll put my last video I did on Katy Perry and Taylor Swift up here. I did a whole podcast with Fluently Forward, which you can check out on like Spotify and everything, everywhere else that podcasts are located. And we did a whole hour and a half, honestly, deep dive of Katy Perry. I'm a huge Katy cat. Okay. And I've been saying this for years. I've been waiting for this moment in pop culture for years. Okay. For everyone to realize that Witness is a masterpiece. Okay. Justice for Roulette and Save His Draft and even Miss You More. But that the public was not the only one that turned on her and that the industry was against her. So I have been saying for years, in my opinion, allegedly, that, you know, she was very outspoken when it came to politics and a lot of things that were going on. And I felt that there was some tomfoolery going on. So I'm going to do a reading on this. I've never done a reading on this. I've always wanted to. And now is finally the moment I've been waiting for. So remember, these readings are all legend from Taylor's only. And I want to know what you guys think. So let's get started. So remember, if you like these, you can join my YouTube members. There's a $5, $10, $15 tier. You get access to exclusive pickup cards, story times, and you can win a reading from me. And I have a second YouTube channel with non-tarot content. It's called Antphrodite, T-E-A. Check that out in the link down below. It's linked down below. Okay. So, forgive my face looks a little crazy. I was out on a walk before this. Okay, so was Katy Perry sabotaged? That's Katy. Oh, shit. Okay. So the Knight of Wands is Katy Perry. Okay. And that's about someone who's sort of eager and chasing something. And I will say she really believed in her work. Definitely believed in her body of work, believed in her songs, believed in the message. I think this is one that she was definitely super passionate about. In my opinion, it shows through the music, but y'all gonna say I'm biased, I'm a kitty cat, whatever. Now, the Ace of Wands is what's interesting. The Ace of Wands is the birth of something new. So that's like the energy around her, like the industry. And then in the middle is the High Priestess. So it's just trust, divine timing, and healing. I definitely think this was a healing moment for her. I know she was in a really dark period in her life during this time. And it definitely was super healing for her. I also see the Ace of Wands, the birth of something new. It does look like it was a rebirth for her. It was like a baby that needed to be born. Because sometimes Ace of Wands could be like pregnancy or things like that. But what's interesting here is it does look like the industry was trying to, so the world is upright, okay, which is unfinished business. The Hermit, isolation, the King of Pentacles would be about business and people behind the scenes. I definitely feel like there was a major push from the industry for her to be exactly what she was, right? This is what we're familiar with. Let's do the same thing we've always done. Wash, rinse, repeat. Don't cut your hair. Don't do all this. There was definitely a push for that. But I also see this as them wanting to replicate her. So what's interesting here is when I asked the question, is she sabotaged? The Ace of Wands is about wanting someone just like her. The Chariot is about progress. The Three of Swords, predicting the worst before they began. And the Nine of Cups, which is manifestation, which is about them kind of wanting to create Katy Perry 2.0. So the word sabotage might be very heavy and it might be a big word to use. Maybe the better word would be replaced. This is something I've seen in every Pop Girls spread. So this doesn't shock me that I'm seeing this here. But it looks like they were looking at a way to kind of, how can we replicate Katy Perry? How can we replace her? So when we look at spreads like this, the fear of Lady Gaga, I'm going to bring her up in a second. The fear of Katy Perry having too much power is why we were seeing a detriment to her. If you remember back in the day when it was applause from Lady Gaga versus roar from Katy Perry won tenfold, right? But she was on an incline and gaining too much power. Both of them kind of were. And I feel like when I look at the spread, all I see is we want to be able to recreate what we did with you. And in order to do that, you can't be more powerful. The Fool is upright. The Eight of Wands is like a slowing down, and the Tower is a restructuring. So I think Katy wanted to restructure a lot of things. I think she was fighting back against like what is the status quo. I think when the Fool is upright, I think Katy Perry played very naive for a very long time and acted like she didn't know what was going on, but she did. And then she got tired and was like, I don't really want to play anymore. I don't want to play the game. I want to do what I want to do. I feel like I've proven myself, and she did. And that's the problem, is that they realized that she peeped game. And so I definitely do think there was some level of talks of how can we, let me give you exactly what was going on. How can we have people avoid her? Judgment, Hierophant, and the Five of Wands. How do we get people to avoid her? We can't destroy her, but we can have them avoid her. We can distract them with other things. So it definitely looks like they were afraid of her power. They were definitely afraid of her power. And it's like, okay, you're too savvy. We can't recreate this if you're too strong. We're trying to knock you down a peg. I think this is what happened to most of the pop girls. I'm sure if you guys want me to do a reading on Lady Gaga and what happened to her career, I could do that too. I'm sure it'll be very similar. What's interesting though is that there's only when I think about power in the industry, there's only like two that really come to mind that were able to maintain, which is Beyonce and Taylor. So I'm interested to see what the difference is between them and everyone else and why they were able to maintain that power. Perhaps they are still willing to play the game. But there's something here where I see Katy Perry just being like, I don't want to play the game anymore. I see her rolling die. I see her in a room full of people and they're all rolling die. And she's like, I'm done. I'm not playing anymore. She like literally, it's like as if she really doesn't want to play a game anymore. She's like, I don't want to play. It's weird. There's this weird, like, I quit. I see like cards, like if you were playing cards and you go, I fold. I see her folding. Temperance, Empress reverse, and Two of Wands. It's almost like it was too much. There was too much she was needing to do. There were too much pressure on her. I'm also seeing her sort of, the Empress is reverse. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like motherhood was a big focus for her after that. And there was like trying to sort of figure out her relationship and things like that. But Two of Wands and Temperance, yes, there were two versions of her at odds. You know, Catherine Hudson and Katy Perry, right? But what's interesting here is it feels like I'm just gonna say it. There were things that she had to do that she did not want to do. Period. There were things that they were like, you need to do this. She would not do. She just would not do it. I just see her being like, I see her morality on the line and her being like, I don't want to. Like, I don't want to. Under any circumstance, I don't want to do it. Which is weird. I don't know if I necessarily expected this. When I was doing this, I figured like, oh, maybe there would be like, propaganda, which there always is, right? And I still believe that was a big part of what she went through. But there's an underbelly here that I wasn't expecting, which is the pressure for her to do things she doesn't want to do. And I don't know, it's weird. It doesn't really feel like it's necessarily just her artistic direction. Yeah, look at that. Emperor, Four of Cups. I just keep hearing, I don't want to feed the beast. Come on, Kim Petras. Four of Cups reverse, Four of Swords, like, it's almost like in order to be successful, I would have to do something that would go against my morals, and I don't want to do it anymore. I'm tired. So fuck it. Let's see if I can handle it on my own. It reminds me of how like Megan the Stallion kind of left her label and stuff. There's just like a lot of pressure. It's like if you want in this next upper echelon, you want in this next level, you have to do certain things that you're not willing to do. I just see her being like, I can't, I would have a guilty conscience if I were to do that. I don't know what it is. I'm not really, I guess I'm just scratching the surface there, but there's just this pressure that she's feeling. And I also think Katy Perry was afraid of power itself as well. I don't think she has a song about power. I don't think she got into this industry to be powerful. I think she got into this industry because she was creative. And I think for her, I see her being afraid of the power, being afraid of the control, being afraid of all of that. The Ace of Pentacles is upright. The Eight of Swords is reversed and Knight of Swords is reversed, which is her feeling like nothing good comes from money. Money is the root of all evil. That's what that says. It's always like, everyone just wants money. It's all about money. Like there's a part of her that's like, and I get it. I mean, when you're a pop star and you're making a ton of money, like you can throw money around. It doesn't matter, right? She's extremely wealthy, right? But I think she started to see certain things that basically were giving her an ick. And I feel like it was just like she was at odds with people behind the scenes. So it's more along the lines of how do we distract them? How do we put more effort and energy into others? So it's not necessarily like we didn't help. It's not necessarily like they were trying to destroy her as much as they were trying to get us to be distracted and interested in something else. Like, hey, look over there, instead of, hey, look at Katy Perry. I mean, we already know that there were multiple things at play. We already know that Taylor Swift, when Witness released, she released all her songs back on Spotify. We already know she was coming for her. But what's interesting here is the King of Swords is upright, the Three of Wands is reversed, and the Knight of Cups. I will say this. How do I word this? I don't think that Katy Perry just took the hits on the chin. I think she did at first, but she's a triple Scorpio. They always get their revenge. I see her getting her last laugh. I see her getting the last laugh. I see her getting revenge. I think I touched on this in my Taylor and Katy reading. I do think she got revenge on her in return. But I also think with the King of Cups reverse, the Seven of Swords, and the Hangman reverse, I think that she also got her revenge behind the scenes as well, which is interesting because now I'm looking at a war basically behind the scenes, and I'm seeing certain people really, really favor Katy Perry, and I'm seeing it almost like people who have been through what Katy was going through were on her side. It's like she has unlikely allies. So it's almost like Katy Perry was used as a pawn or a chess piece by other people in the industry at the time. Everyone was using Katy Perry to send a message or to do something. It wasn't necessarily like a direct, like, fuck Katy Perry. It was more like, I'm going to use you to get what I need. I'm going to use you to do what I need you to do, or to send the message I need to send, or to get even with the person I need to get even with. And I think that's really what hurt her and what broke her. She started to feel like she couldn't trust anyone because there's a part of her with the Devil card reversed, the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and Knight of Pentacles. Like, the consistency that I known is now gone, and there's toxicity everywhere. And these people that I thought were my friends are now using me. She just felt used by everyone around her. And she was absolutely being used. And I think, I think she just got scared too. Like, I think there was a part of it that's like she wanted everything to quiet down and stop. Like, I can hear her being like, this is like a movie. This is not real life. Like, what is this? This is like some Hunger Games shit. Like, what the fuck is going on? And I think for her, she just like, I want it to be about the music. I just wanted it to be about music. Like, I just wanted to make music. Like, I don't understand. Not saying that she's perfect, right? Obviously, every celebrity has their good and bad things. I'm not saying she has like the perfect attitude, but what I'm saying is like I'm in her energy in that time period, and she's just like, fuck, what the fuck is going on? What is this? Where did this come from? And I do agree that it kind of shifted overnight. It was kind of just like, oh, okay, you're a perfect tool. You're a perfect vehicle to push this. You're a perfect vehicle to push that. We need you to do this. We need you to do that, because she was getting more and more power. Queen of Cups reversed, Five of Pentacles, and Ten of Swords. Now, this is what I'll end it on. It does look like there's a part of her that was trying to sabotage herself. So I think that plays a part in this. Obviously, she was going through some mental health struggles, but I also think there was a part of her that was like, I don't want to be this powerful, so I'm going to fuck this shit up. Probably the rebellious act that we're seeing with her cutting her hair. Like, good, I know it's not going to be as popular. Good, I don't want to be. I want to sabotage it because I'm seeing Britney in my mind's eye. And we know Britney was sabotaging things for years. And so I also see her being like, fuck this, I don't care. I want to do this if it sabotages it, good. I don't want to be that powerful anyways. I mean, hey, she was very successful for a very long time, and even she was successful in her eras that you guys consider flops. But I can see the break. So I guess I'm gonna leave it there. I mean, I don't know if I really got specific information. If there's specific questions you have, maybe I'll do another part to this, or the next time I read Katy, I'll add that in there. But yeah, I kind of just feel like Katy was feeling used by everyone, and that people were trying to, replicate her. They were trying to figure out the formula. Maybe that's the better word to use. They were trying to really figure out what the Katy Perry formula was for her being so successful. Maybe not necessarily a direct new Katy Perry 2.0, like another Katy, but more so what the formula was, because I don't think they really understand. To this day, I don't think they really understand Katy's formula, which is interesting. You would think they would understand her formula because she's like, a very, cookie cutter pop image, but they I don't think they could replicate it, so they couldn't figure out the formula. I think Katy Perry is one of those people that's kind of just like, people are just drawn to you. Triple Scorpio, you're gonna be drawn to her, right? And so like, can't really figure out why. So, all right, if you guys like that, make sure you join the YouTube members. Good luck.